Hey everyone, it's Heather Nichols and welcome to another Make It Monday. Many of you might know I just moved into a new home, and one of the things that came with that is to get a new washer dryer. So we had to go to the hardware store and get some aluminum tape. And while we're of course putting this in, I thought, now how much fun would aluminum tape be if we played around with it with some stamping techniques? So we are going to actually use the impression plates and make kind of an embossing impression on the metallic tape, and then we're going to use it on the boy themed card that I just showed previously. This is the herringbone plate, and I'm on my Cuttlebug, so I have an order from bottom to top: my C plate, my B plate, my impression plate. The tape is going to go face down onto the impression plate, my mats for my impression plate, and a second B plate on top of that. And then I'm going to crank that through. And then when we take the top off, we can see how cool this looks. It's way more, cardstock is cool when you do an impression on it, but the tape is way cool. So I'm going to use the Polka Dot Basics 2 impression plate for another one, and on this one I decided to tip the tape diagonally on the plate just to get kind of a different direction of dots on it. And again, putting my mats on top, cranking it through. And there's the polka dots impressed into the aluminum tape. And finally, I'm going to use the Tin Types impression plate and run this through. Now, when I first did this card, I wasn't sure what kind of style of card I was going to do, but once I got the tape all embossed, right away I'm like, oh, this has to be kind of a masculine teenage boy kind of theme, and I went and dug out the Boy Basics set and got the little skater dude mini set out because that one seemed like it would be the coolest. And now I challenged myself here. The blog hop in April was to do things at a slant, and I am not a slant person, but then, I'm doing a teenage boy card, I've got this cool tape, so I just thought, let's go for it and try putting this at an angle on the card. And I'm doing the Tin Types, and I kind of cut them into strips before I started putting on my card. There's the herringbone piece. There's a lot of great texture here, and it reminds me of like a metal floor in a garage, or a metal cabinet of some sort. Very cool for this theme of card. And you could do this, with any really masculine card theme, but I have a teenage nephew that this will be perfect for a birthday card for him. You could do some other cool things with this tape too. You can do the impression, you can use alcohol inks to color the metal. You could just die cut the metal into different shapes. It cut really easy on my paper trimmer. I guess the only thing maybe to worry about is that it is aluminum. Just be aware of that when you're working with it. I didn't have any trouble with, getting cut or anything on it, but it's pretty soft. It's not super rigid tape at all, but keep it in the back of your head. So I'm going to stamp the sentiment from the Boy Basics skater dude. It's like celebrate your day, and I forget what it says, in a flip kick way. And then I have the little skateboard, and I'm going to put that right next to it. And I keep wanting to put it straight, but you'll see I end up actually tipping that too. So I tipped my background and I tipped my main element. I decided I needed a little bit more. It's really shiny, so I'm putting the star border die cut here that I've cut from Smoky Shadow. I'm using zip dry paper glue. That's what I tend to use a lot for different things that are too small for my paper or my tape runner. Ribbons, or like if I'm going to make sure buttons stay still, or you'll see I'm going to actually add some sequins here later. So I'm just going to add that. Just kind of layering up some cool textures there. I decided to do a little bit of kind of distressing. I used some of the images in the Skater Dude set, and then this is some different things from the Grunge Me set, the little circles and these paint splatters, and I'm just doing them on a craft with the Classic Craft ink, and then I did a little bit of distressing on the edges with the ink blending tool. Just, doing the tone on tone in the background, doing some cool grunge stuff, but it's not overpowering the card because, you don't want to do too much. We've got some pretty shiny textures and stars and stuff. We don't want to overpower the background with that. So I decided it did need a little bit of pop of color, so I just dug some red sequins out of my stash. These are just vintage ones I picked up at a thrift store. Again, used that zip dry paper glue and glued them on down. And there you have it. I love the cool impressions on the aluminum tape and how they add to this card for a teenage boy. And now it's your turn. Go to Nicole's blog, get all the details on posting your projects and joining the contest this week. Thanks so much, everybody, and you have a great week.